Good morning. Happy Sunday. Yeah, I'm back for a pop-up. I know that crazy YouTuber. She just pops up all wiggly and we're like, I apologize. But if you are new here or you're back, it's kind of been the flow lately since the beginning of this channel. Yeah. But I have some things to say today, so here I am. So if you're new to the channel or back, welcome. Happy Sunday. I'm glad you made it in. Um, the first thing I want to start out with is thank you. Seriously, you guys, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. Michael's Adventures, he shouted me out in one of his videos that he does. He goes on every morning, 9 o'clock, like clockwork. And he's been going on in the evenings too, which I'm loving. But he put my name in one of his videos and said happy birthday. So I appreciate that. That means so much to me. Not only because it was my birthday, it's just you never know what's going on behind the scenes with people. And just the smallest things can just, I don't know. I'm a very sentimental person. So maybe it's just me. I'm sentimental about everything. But I appreciate it. And everybody who said happy birthday to me, thank you. We kind of forgot about it. You know, I knew my birthday was coming. You know, we don't forget about it. But, you know, with everything that started happening, it just kind of went to the back of my mind. And, you know, I'm not complaining because I'm 35 years old. Emphasis on the old. Back in growing up, my mom was allowed to say she was old at 30. I'm realizing that I'm not. It's moved. It's changed. It's bumped up. I'm not going to be able to say I'm old until I'm 80 at this point. And that's iffy. But thank you. I appreciate it. It was such a good one. And I'll share with you more on that. But we kind of forgot because about a week prior, we had a family member pass. She had cancer and she fought beautifully and strong. And unfortunately, you know, God wanted her home. So that kind of took precedence, you know. And it was on my husband's side. And during her funeral arrangements and getting ready for her funeral, my sister-in-law's best friend, not really family, but she was family. My sister-in-law helped to raise her kids. She was always there for them, and I've known her since I was 18. She was family, but she did not have a lot of money, and she lived a very hard life. And she had 4 kids. They weren't able to throw an actual funeral; they just could not afford it. But we had a little memorial for her yesterday, and it was beautiful. And my sister-in-law, you know, she reached out to me and asked me if I would help her with her memorial cards. And we ended up creating each of her daughters a personal memory card. And it was beautiful. I was shocked that my sister-in-law asked me, of all people, to help her create something, because I have no artistic ability, like none. I can't draw a stick figure, and I was nervous. I was honored, very honored. Do not get me wrong, but I did not think I was the right person for that job. I don't know where she ever thought in any of my history, I would be the one, but apparently, because they turned out beautiful, and I was honored to do that for them. You know, me and her, we didn't always see eye to eye, and my sister-in-law was a little nervous to ask me, and no, death is so final. I told her, I said, I haven't spoken to my family in years. And if you've been following along, you kind of know that. But if I found out that I was passing, I would reach out and I would let them know. And I wouldn't care if they waited until I was on my last breath, because it's just so final. You know, they're not coming back next week, next year, next month, 10 years, 20 years, you know, they're gone. So it's best to get as much closure as you can. And I would never keep that from them, even though we don't speak right now. Um, I always pray that we will. And, my sister in law was one of those people, she was my best friend since I was 18. It's how I met my husband. It's her brother. um, but when the adoption happened, she has always struggled to have kids. And when the adoption happened, a big thing she just couldn't understand was why it couldn't be her. And we kind of parted ways. And I never blamed her. I never blamed anybody for how they felt about it. I just hope and pray that one day we can come to an understanding. And throughout all of this, my sister did. She came to me and we had a conversation about it, and it was very nice. And I feel like God has brought somebody back to me. And I'm so thankful for that. It's been such a tragic 2 weeks, but such beauty in it as well. So we're taking the steps to mend that. And she even, said maybe one day she'll come up here and talk about it. Meet her and I. And I would love that. And I think everybody would love that. Just to see that dynamic. But I'm very, very glad. And baby steps. But that's just God working. And I see him so much now. And I pray I continue to see him more. It's been a blessing. But yeah, we definitely almost forgot about my birthday. So Michael's Adventures definitely helped me out with that. I was like, oh my gosh, it's here. It's happening. But it was good. I got some flowers. I got some cards. I posted a picture of it in my community page with my hole puncher. Oh my gosh, my kids were looking at me like I was crazy when I ran around the room, like, my hole puncher. I'm bad at gifting things for me, y'all. So bad. I get for everybody else. And I'm rocking the same clothes since high school. Like, I don't need much either. That's just how I'm built. But I'm very bad at me. So I've been saying I needed a hole puncher for weeks now. And I go to the store. I just don't think about it, So I woke up to my hole puncher. I was able to finish Ollie's planner that I made me. I've been searching forever for a planner for him, and I just couldn't find one that really, really met me. I just need everything laid out. It needs a spot. Okay. And after doing the pamphlets and after going through that, my sister-in-law encouraged me too. She was like, you could do it. You can definitely do that. So I sat down and I did it. And y'all are probably thinking it's just the planner, but that is a masterpiece. Okay. I am just so happy with that. And then now I know if I want to change anything, I can do it. And it's all printed out in a binder. And not only is it pretty, but it works, you guys. It works. And I love it. I love it. I'm proud of it. And I think I don't know. It's just such a peace. And you're going in the right direction. And it's God, because how you feel. I feel so wonderful. I think I finally hit a true milestone, a stepping stone, a path, or something. I feel like I've reached something. I was going to come up and talk about all of the stuff that I was grateful for before everything happened. And then when it happened, I just didn't think it was the right time, and his timing is perfect. I'm learning, like, even if you don't think so, because yeah, I'm so glad I'm waiting to come up here and talk about it, because so much more happened. And now I feel like now I can come up here and talk about this. I made his planner. I am becoming a booster mom for his school. I am doing face-to-face training where I throw events for the people in his school, the kids in his school, all to come and gather and meet and hang out and do whatever theme I throw. I think the first theme I'm going to throw is reading with purpose, because I have also been invited to do story time once a month. I'll just log on and read to Ollie's school. Anybody that wants to come. So I think, and so I'm taking a training course on reading with a purpose. I'll be certified, when I'm done. And so that's what, I'll be able to go in and read stories with purpose, skill sets, mindsets, learning skills through stories. And I'm so excited. So my first event I think I'm going to do is reading with purpose. So pretty much everything I've always wanted to do with Ollie and his school, except for me and Ollie's school could never get along or see eye to eye long enough, or things just didn't align for me to come up there and do all of this. But we are loving OVA still. Best decision that we have made. If anybody wants to hear more about that, I'll gush about that too. Don't worry, I'll gush. It's just I feel like our lives are changing, and it's all because I'm starting to listen. It's hard. I still fight him, but I feel like I'm actually moving forward and finding a purpose in it all. And, I know I've disappeared, and a lot of this has been the reason why. And a lot of it has just been me really stepping away and asking God, what do you want me to say through all this? What is the goal here? What is the purpose? When God gives you a message, sometimes it's distorted. Do I feel like he wants me coming up here and talking about the adoption? Absolutely. Especially, I'm learning. I was never a 16-year-old girl in that position, facing adoption. I was a 30-something-year-old mom, married. And I'm never going to see that world. Do I understand their perspective? Do I feel for them? Yeah. But we were and are at different perspectives as far as that. And I think that what I have to say about adoption and what I have to say is important. And I do believe he wants me up here speaking about that. And I will. I still plan on coming up and doing the video going back on how I grew up and where I first learned to recognize that voice, where I feel like it grew from. Because it's important. It all comes back to him and where I am now. But I also think, from my bio, like it's just been staring me in the face. Like, what does he want me to do for him on his side? And I think it is to just let people know you do have that voice. It's there, whether you believe it's him or not. Do I pray you come to? Yeah. Like I keep saying, also, I would love nothing more than you to come back and say, it was God all along. But I think that I'm just here to help you recognize it because it's so important. And it's about you and that voice, you and within, and nobody else. And that's so hard. I've been there. So I have been working on this little 30-day guide challenge, piecing together, thinking about what I went through and what I struggled with and what I needed to hear. And I have come up with this 30-day challenge. So every day after this video, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, just hang in with me. So for the next 30 days, starting today, I'm going to upload a a video with a scripture, a reflection, and an action step, and a prayer to close. And it's just designed to help you really bring that quiet little whisper, to recognize it, and then to bring it louder, bring it to the forefront, to where you can recognize it and begin to follow it. And I'm doing it because I am right along with you. It's a continuous journey, a continuous discipline that you have to do, to say, no matter what I feel, no matter how unsure I am, or I don't see the future, I'm still going to follow that voice. I'm still going to let it guide me. So I threw something together, to help somebody get started. And then I rewrote it in a guide to then print out, and I put it in a binder. I hole punched it with my new hole puncher, and I have been slowly creating a tangible guide you can hold to be able to then, at the end of the 30 days, gift to somebody. I'm going to choose a winner. I will post a video or a post on how that goes, because I think it'd just be too confusing to explain it here. But so at the end of we're going to do this 30-day challenge together. Like I said, every day I'll come on and I will post that video. And at the end of the 30 days, on that 30th day, I will do the spinny wheel that you all have graciously put in your videos. And I went and Googled how to find me one myself. Thank you. I am going to put everybody's name on a spinning wheel and choose a winner, and they will get a hard copy of this 30-day challenge guide that we're doing, that you can do at home over and over again in your own time. You can gift it to somebody, along with, now this whole challenge is built around, being in the silence and listening for that voice, and then cutting through the noise of everyday life and searching for that voice. But to start out, you want to be in a quiet space. For me, it was this moments of silence when I was, going through the pregnancy and the adoption. And even back further, it was the times where I was so distressed, but I was silent. It was quiet, that I could feel that voice, hear that voice. So I am gifting this little fireplace. It's a portable little, you put water in it, and it comes with a little remote, and it mists up for you. Just something pretty to create your space, to put this where your space is going to be, where you're going to take that time to sit in the silence and listen from within, to get you started. So along with the guide, I have the fireplace here. And I just think it's beautiful. I think it's perfect to get somebody started or to pass along. So I have a piece from the guide that I printed out and will be giving to the winner. Just to give a heads up on kind of how the videos are going to go and what you're looking for in the guide when you get it. It's day 15. I just randomly pulled one out, and it is When God Feels Silent. The scripture is Psalms 13, 1-2. How long, Lord? Will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I wrestle with my thoughts and day after day have sorrow in my heart? The reflection. There are times when it feels like God is silent, like his voice is distant and unreachable. David, a man after God's own heart, cried out in frustration, asking where God was. It's easy to feel abandoned or lost when we can't seem to hear his voice. But even in the silence, God is still present. His timing is perfect, and he often works in ways we don't immediately understand. If you are in a season where God feels distant, know that you are not alone. He hasn't left you. He's teaching you to trust him even when you can't hear him as clearly as before. And the action step would be write a prayer to God expressing your feelings about his silence. Pour out your heart honestly, like David did. Ask God to help you trust him, even when you can't hear his voice clearly, and rest in the knowledge that he is still working. And then at the bottom of each page, I left a little bit for you to write a thought for that day. And then when you reach the end of the week, there is a big journal page in there in case you wanted to journal anymore. So yes, that is what I've been working on. I feel like that's where I need to start. That's where God's calling me. That's what I've been trying to get people to understand since I've been talking, and it makes perfect sense. I believe in it so much, and I think that's where I'm at, and I'm ready. I'm done living under a rock. I'm ready to just let people know that God was there. He was. And he's there for you too. So yes, at the end of the 30 days, I will pick a winner and they will get a hard copy of the challenge and this nice little peaceful fireplace to set up your own space. And I hope you do. I hope you can continue it. But yeah, that is all I got for you. As soon as I'm off here, I am actually going to record the first day and upload it. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you join me in this challenge. I'm doing this challenge because it's, like I said, it's a continual thing. You know, you get lost in the noise. That whisper starts to fall further back. This is just a way for me to revamp it, make sure it stays up there. So I'm all in. And I hope you are too. So I am bad at goodbyes. So I am going to cut it here.